Everybody. I am Latuska Powell, and today I am supposed to be interviewing Nahshon Nicks running for District 7 City Council, and he's not, he hasn't shown up. So I don't have anything written out or planned to discuss. I had a few things to ask Nahshon today, which is very upsetting that he wouldn't show up. But it is what it is. And so we continue on our journey. Let's talk about what do the people of Jacksonville desire to see. I do a lot of community service, and I know a lot of people in the community, and I hear a lot of the things that are of concern that the people have as far as uh, neighborhood beautification, the sound barriers, not having sidewalks, potholes. Um, of course, redlining is an issue. And it's kind of disheartening. I must say, it's disheartening to know that your tax money is being used in other places. It's disheartening to know that when we have town hall meetings, people don't show up and voice their opinion. It's disheartening to know that you have a voice, but you refuse to use it. In the plain viewing of life, God gave us all life, and He gave us all life abundantly, not just abundantly, but He gave us all free will. Your will can never be done on this planet if you never open your mouth. There is no way that anything can change if we don't come together. We come together on issues that, and if I'm just going to tell you, this is how I feel. I cannot do anything about the past. The past is exactly what it is. I cannot go back and rewrite the past. It's no need of me rewriting it. It makes no sense. You grow, you evolve, you become greater than your past. I was recently at a show on Saturday and I had to speak in front of an audience. And that was one of the things that I spoke about. Knowing that we are creating our realities, it's saddening to see that people live in the past. And so they keep reenacting past stuff. You know, it's nowhere in the world I'm going to make a video looking like a slave. I've never been one. I honor the people that came before me, but I'm not reacting nothing like that. I know I'm free. I'm not bound and nothing is holding me, tying me to anything, because I am a daughter of the Most High God. So I'm not bound. I don't have those kind of inflictions in my mind. I'm not bound. Oh, here, Nahshon has made it in the building. Hold on, everybody. Yeah, you made it.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All
We
right.
are live. But
Yes, yes.
let me finish this statement, and then I'm gonna let you come on in. Everybody, so as I was saying, I'm not gonna reenact being a slave, and I need some of us to get our minds right. This is 2022. We don't have any business holding on and harboring on the stuff that happened to people that we never met. This is our life. What are we going to do with our life? We cannot reenact their life and make their life change. It happened, it is. But what can we do from this point as a unit of people, a body of people, to make sure those things don't happen again? That's the only thing that I'm concerned about. We're not going to go backwards by reenacting it and then bringing it back into fruition. That's not how it works. All right, everybody. We have Nahshon Nicks here. Nahshon, thank you so much for showing up. Because I was going to give you a little buzz, but I'm glad I didn't have to give it to you. Please tell me a little bit about who Nahshon is.
Number one, thank you so much, Ms. Latiska, for this opportunity. And to your listening and viewing audience, hello. My name is pronounced Nahshon Nicks. I was born in Syracuse, New York. Migrated from Syracuse to Jacksonville in 1990. I'm the oldest of five children, and for those of us that remember the 80s, the crack cocaine epidemic really destroyed a lot of families in New York. A lot of times people look at New York City, but they forget that it flowed through central New York as well. My stepfather came on board and said, listen, it's time for a fresh start. So we actually came to Jacksonville, to plant our feet and get settled. And went to elementary school, Merrill Road Elementary, middle school at Fort Caroline. I left Jacksonville for a brief period for high school and came back for college, graduated from Edward Waters. E-Dub, 2006, senior class president with a degree in education. Worked in post-secondary education, have a master's in leadership and management, doctorate degree in divinity, and I'm also a doctoral student at NYTS for a DMit as well. And most importantly, I love God. I love people. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a girl dad times three. So I don't even know how I still have hair on my head.
Because
And
all
just
things
looking
are possible.
to and looking to do some great things in our city. I love our city, and I love the North Side, and I really want to see the North Side of Jacksonville get what's due. Since consolidation for 50 years, we've been fighting to get equitable opportunities, and my desire and vision is to see the South Side of Jacksonville and the North Side of Jacksonville match.
Match. Okay, so as far as that's gonna require us to restructure some of the laws too, because some of
Yes.
the laws are the things that's kind of binding in keeping the red line and going and keeping a lot of the issues, that are here are because of the laws.
Yes, you're right, and looking at it from a local level pertaining to legislation, we're looking at the policies and being able to maximize things like CRAs, Community Reinvestment Acts, dollars that are designated to certain zip codes and zones within the city to make sure that those resources are maximizes in those designated areas. And that's just one of the small things that I want to fight for, is to see how we can keep that tax dollar and that revenue in the communities that it was designated to, and then at the same time using tourism to help broaden the tax base. Um, and we got a lot of assets on the north side of Jacksonville. We just got to retell this story, enhance the narrative, and let folks know it's a great place to bring your family. Enjoy the river, enjoy some of that soul food where I met you at the cookbook, and Auntie Peaches, and get your nails done, your hair done. Bring your family, and just really look at ways to where we can broaden our tax base, so that way we're stimulating our local economy.
Okay, so now these are some of the ideas that I kind of came up with.
Hmm.
I love the community gardens. I don't know if you know that about me. I am in love with the community gardens. I really am. And I'm excited because there's a lot of churches that are kind of connecting the dots to, being able to preserve and eat our own food, because food is really free. It's always been free. We created a grocery store and kind of made us a little lazy because we don't like to wait for things. But
Hmm.
community gardens are essential to me, especially on the north side. On the north side is the mindset on the north side, because the people should understand that this is where you live. We all live on this planet. It has no reason to be filthy. It has no reason to uh, like all these abandoned homes. And okay, why do you have an abandoned home here, but you live all the way on the south side? Somebody needs to hold you accountable to keep this property up. You cannot have a property for the, I guess I don't know what you may need it for, some kind of zoning or whatever, but you
What,
don't
what, what,
take care
what,
of
what,
it.
but blight, code enforcement, all those things tie together with the city. So blight and code enforcement, absentee ownership is also something that we can also tie into ordinances as well and enforce policy. So I did want to put that out there. Sometimes we don't empower the citizen with the tools at their disposal. And for example, if with your support, your viewer support, your listener support, I get an office, one way that you can hold me accountable, you can say, well, I called his office. Well, follow it up with an email. Follow it up. It's follow up and follow through. It's shared accountability, and those are some just little small things. I'm not saying that things are just going to jump, and move instantly, but to say I called, but then you don't have a reference number or a tracking number. One of the best ways to keep people, and that's on all levels of government. That's not just city council. That's the state legislators, state senators, Congress. Send them an email. It's timestamped. Everybody has access to that email because it's public. It belongs to the public.
Okay. And that I'm finding out a lot of things belong to the public that the people have no idea about. And I say this, I thank God for these little phones, because you can do anything with a phone. You can find out anything that you want to find out. And I've noticed that people don't want to find out nothing. They don't want to know the truth. They rather know what they know. But again, I tell people all the time, you only know what your ancestors taught you.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you really know? Because your ancestors were slaves. They only knew what they knew. Most of them couldn't read or understand. So the Bible talks about knowing the word and working your words, because it's not the word that manifests, but the meaning of the word manifests. So if I'm using a word that you think is common to you, which I'm saying in another form, but you only know the common ground meaning of it, then you're misinformed.
Yes. And if I could interject, similar to what you say, my phrase is that people can only perform to the level that they've been prepared. And with the city of Jacksonville, and I can speak from my point of view, and when it comes to Black leadership, succession planning is like we preach change, we talk change, but we do the same things. So therefore, there is no succession planning to where we're giving young people an opportunity to exercise in their giftings to see if this is a part of their journey. And then from an Afrocentric perspective, Chancellor Williams in his book, The Destruction of Black Civilization, he talks about the rites of passage and giving people the rites of passage. And for our youth in Jacksonville, and it's more likely probably for the United States, especially for people of color, Dr. Sharaka Holly did a study and he could not say Black. So the way that he worked the language, as you put it, he said that when you look at underserved communities, distressed communities, they're typically people who come from slavery, oppression, and or their ancestors were once conquered. And those are the terms that he used to help bring federal dollars, state dollars, and local dollars to distressed communities by working that language. So that way, okay, what do the people who are historically come from slaves, they were conquered and or oppressed? Bam. That's how he was able to work the language in order to bring resources into his community. But you're saying a lot, Miss Letiska. You're saying a whole lot. And succession planning is very important to me. Mentoring is very important to me. So that way folks actually have an opportunity to exercise in those areas versus being thrown or pushed or shoved. And like I said, we kind of have had the blind leading the blind in a lot of areas. I'm boots on the ground. I live here. Uh, I'm embedded here. And whenever I go somewhere, They were like, "Where are you from?" Duval.
Oh wow. Okay. And I will tell you this, you have a beautiful spirit. I'm talking about you came into that mixer and you mixed and you held babies and you took pictures and you did the you. You were just you with the community. And I do appreciate seeing the human side of an individual.
Yes, thank you, thank you. My, like, so I want to put this out there to your audience, if you don't mind. My mother struggled with substance abuse my entire life. She passed in 2020 from fentanyl. Uh, and she used to always tell me, be real, be real, be real. Now, psychologists and psychotherapists, they use the term authentic self. She didn't have all them degrees. She just said, be real.
Yeah.
And if you be real, people will appreciate that. And then, and I got to put this out there because sometimes we're so condescending or we beat our elders up because of some shortcomings. We all come from historic trauma.
Mhm.
And I wish to God I could have gave my mother more roses while she was living. So uh, if I can't say anything else, please give your elders, your loved ones, your children, the ones that don't listen, their roses while they can smell them. Because at the end of the day, we are all we have.
And that's another thing that I talk about. Is nobody to blame. I see a lot of people with the victim mentality. It's no one to blame because I'm gonna give you a little background about me. I was adopted. My mom had a second grade education. She was an older lady that adopted me, and she was raised by her great grandmother. It was seven of them, but she was raised by a great grandmother. Her great grandmother was a slave. When my mom passed, she was 92.
Wow.
So, but she had a second grade education, and she knew how to do. Even though her sisters went to college and got all these degrees and had husbands and everything, they didn't even know how to write checks because their husbands did everything for them. You know what I'm saying? My mama had to step in and fill in the blanks. And I'm like, for her to just have a second grade education, and then she made sure her sisters and brothers went to college and did what they needed to do for themselves. She sacrificed herself so that they may have life. And then, her life was whatever she wanted it to be. I guess she was happy in her life. I wish she would have done a little bit more, but she did everything that she wanted to do. But I'm saying all of that to say this: we all make decisions. And instead of us, the community, putting so much of the decision on your back as a council person, some of these things we should be required or we should have enough sense to do for ourselves.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? This is where we live. So why is it just so adamant that somebody else has to do it for me? That's what do you call a codependent relationship?
Yeah.
You shouldn't
Yes.
be codependent, depending on something else to sustain you. You self-sustain, and so sustain yourself.
Yes. And I love the way that you talk because you really confront the issues in a very a unique way, and it's refreshing to me. And then people that typically run for office, they come in with like a savior's complex. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna save you from this. I can't save you from anything, you
Mhm.
know. But what I can do is I can work with you. That's what I can do. And if there's not shared accountability, then we're only going to go so far. And I believe that's where the African proverb comes in. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I think that's something that we might have used verbally, but it's time for that to actually be enacted. Let's maximize the land that we own, and let's maximize the relationships that we're able to foster and build as well. And I think that's where sustainable change comes in. building those, I guess in Neely Fuller's terms, constructive relationships.
And then it kind of goes back to the core essentials of Christianity or religion, where two or three come together. You know, I can do a lot of things by myself. I can, but at the same time, I can do more than I could possibly ever think of doing with other people assisting me. And
Mhm.
everybody walking in their lane and doing their, everybody has their position. You do you. I'm gonna do me. And but we're all headed towards the same goal. I bring this to the table. You bring that to the table. You bring, everybody bringing something. And so coming together would make so much sense because God would be there. God is in the building because everybody is in sound mind. This is the goal. See, he already at the goal. He already at the end, waiting on us to get there. It's already manifested. As soon as we say the prayer, bam, it's already there. Now, how you gonna get there? You're gonna go the long route, or are you gonna walk through like kings and queens should, without fear, the way I created you? Be that thing that I created you to be. I am with you, surrounding you, loving you, ensuring that you are not in danger, you know, and
Yes.
just stepping in the presence of that wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. I'm always protected. I don't need, I don't need all this extra stuff. I got, I got the protector of all protectors surrounding me. And so knowing we can
Amen.
do all things once we step into that.
Yes, yes, I'm in total agreement. I'm in total agreement. And some folks use the terminology self-actualization, uh, which is basically perfecting your potential. Uh, and I think uh, there's a role that government plays, but government, I believe, is supposed to support the citizen. And if the government supports the citizen then in return uh, is building capital while we're sustaining capital, and I think those are good reciprocal relationships. The government's investing in the people, and then the people are obviously expanding the tax base of the government to be able to do more. I'm a big advocate for education. I'm a big advocate for preventative health. As you were mentioning earlier about the community gardens, I actually taught hydroponics and aquaponics. I'm very big on STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. I'm not always the SME subject matter expert, but I believe everybody has something to bring. So Bacon Select Farms, that came in during the summer camp, showed the youth how they can build their own soilless, soil-free garden that's all water based, and it's showing them how to make how spinach, a lettuce. I didn't even know there were like so many different variations of lettuce. But
Mhm.
but the thing is that this is something that you can use to feed yourself, generate an income, or distribute amongst your family and friends. Like so, it works in so many other areas, and it also builds social capital. And that's something I'm also big on is building that social capital.
And then my whole thing is let's go back to our roots.
Mm,
Things were created to be a certain way for a reason. And I understand we as creators say, well, I can create something that's going to make it better. And did we really make it better? When you look at where we are in society and how we are so far apart from our natural self, our natural knowing of self. And we're caught up in all of this social life and social attitudes and all of these, the ego is present everywhere, all around.
mhm.
But the natural state of who you are is the thing that everybody seems to hide to me. The authentic state. You have to really be around people to catch that authenticness, to just, see a spark of it.
Yes, yes. Some folks use the Socratic method, so they ask you a line of questions to see what they're going to get.
And I don't do that. God told me to watch, so I'm a watcher. See, people want
Amen.
me to talk. My voice is God gave me my voice because my voice is heard, and I have something to say. That's the two reasons why I have my voice. People will listen when I do speak, but when I am analyzing a situation in my life, I'm a watcher for a reason because He gave me natural abilities. My own intuitions. So I must watch. I won't be prey to nobody, you know.
Okay.
And that's that woman's thing. But men have intuition too.
Cool.
Everybody want to just put it on the woman. Men have intuition too. Ladies, listen to your men sometimes. They know a little something, something.
I, I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing that with your audience.
For real, ladies need to understand that. You're not the smartest thing in the building now. Somebody else knows something that you don't know. So be open and willing to listen, if not anything else, and then God will do the rest. Only thing the man has to do is plant the seed. Once he
Mhm.
plants the seed, the water that the running water within you is the thing that's gonna cultivate the seed, the thought that's gonna make you continue to think about, oh, well, he did say this. That's God working on the inside. All you got to do is put it in me and then let it multiply. The fruits come out, but
Mhm.
you have to give me the information so that I can multiply. And that's the same vice versa. I have to give you my information so that you may multiply because
Yes.
God
Yes.
is working with everybody differently, but He works with everybody to see so we can have a greater vision or our consciousness can expand or we can become creators of a world that is good for humanity's sake compared to just a certain group of people or a certain, you understand what I'm saying? No, we want to help humanity. We don't
Yeah.
care about your color and what language you speak and all of that. If you're human, you're living, that's what we are here talking about, you. And that's what Nahshon wants to help you. He wants to help your community to grow because it's not just his community, it's everybody's community. And he wants to be a part of the life of the community. So whenever, Nahshon, tell us this, how can we support you? How can we support you?
Okay. Uh, for those of you who would agree with my platform, my website is vote Nicks number 4 JAX.com. Vote Nicks NICKS number 4 JAX.com. My platform is simple. And if you share these sentiments, I'm asking for your help to make our community safer, to help small businesses and minority businesses be successful in our city. And there's a ton of growth and development that needs to be done on the north side of Jacksonville. So, with making our community safer, I need your help so that way our young people stop killing each other. When it comes to small businesses, I need your help because sometimes we have a big vision, a big goal, but we don't know how to navigate through the city processes. Have challenges with accessing capital or competing with prime bids, which create generational wealth. I need your help. And then when it comes to growth and development, I would love to help Jacksonville the way that Maynard Jackson helped Atlanta with equitable opportunities. And I need your help. So please visit my website. If you agree with the platform, I need help with fundraising. I need help with brand awareness, name awareness. Please follow my social media platforms. Vote Nahshon Nicks for City Council District 7 on Facebook. Vote Nicks for Jax on Instagram, or visit my website, votenicks4jax.com. We need to be able to put something in people's mailbox. We're going to have to do some billboard advertising and making sure that the people within District 7 know that there is some fresh blood, some fresh ideas, and a new day to help revive the heartbeat of the city. Because when you look at District 7, it is the heart of the city of Jacksonville, with all of its entities, entrances, and exits.
Okay. Now, my next question to you is, oh, let me see what I'm doing. I'm doing something. Let me see how I'm gonna do it. I'm going through it right now. Mm. Where will you be this weekend? Where will you tell us where we can pop up and show you something? Show you that we love you, that we're gonna be on your side. We got you.
All right. Well, this is a great opportunity for my early birds. Early birds. 8:30 a.m. at Highlands Branch Library. 8:30 a.m. at Highlands Branch Library on the north side on Dunn Avenue. I don't have the address in front of me, but that's where I'm going to be on Saturday morning. And then Sunday morning, I'm going to be at Mount Sinai Missionary Baptist Church, 10:25 a.m. at 2036 Silver Street. The thing is that I have to make sure that I'm inside of my district, building awareness, letting folks know that change is coming, but we need your help to make that happen. But this Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m., we're going to be at the Highlands Branch Library before we actually start canvassing and knocking on doors to pass out literature and flyers.
Okay. Now, you already have all your petitions and everything taken
Yes,
care of.
yes,
So you just need the supporters,
yes.
the sign holders, the participators, the event makers. Because a lot of you small businesses, let me tell you, Nahshon is willing to come support you, but it's a give and take situation. You set up the event, he will be there. He will be there with flags on. Yeah, I don't know about selling the products or whatever, but he will be there. You set the event up, you put yourself out there, do you a pop-up, bring the man, he meets the people. The more that we connect, the more we can get done. I believe that when people meet you for themselves, it's something about you that they like or dislike. Out of all the things I've sold in my life, I've never really sold a thing. I feel like I just sold myself. You feel what I'm saying? Because people liked me, and so they bought whatever I was selling. You
Hmm.
know, did I believe in the things I sold? Of course, but once they get to like you, it is what it is. So be mindful of that. Any business owners, go to votenicks4jacks.com. Just put it in the email. Give them an idea. I'm thinking of having this kind of event. I was wondering, would you be able to participate? It is in District 7. Make sure it is in District 7 because that's where he's operating in. Make sure it's there. And if he has allotment in his schedule, I promise you, he is so cool. You will enjoy the time that you meet him and the time that he spends with you. He is a cool cat. And that's for me. And everybody don't get that.
Now, Ms. Latifah, just in case they don't know what District 7 is, can I give them like a couple of zip codes and communities?
Mhm.
All right. So for those of you in Jacksonville, 32202, 32203, 32204, all of 32206, 32208, 32218, and 32219. Now, what does that look like? Brooklyn, downtown, Jaguar Stadium, East Side, out east, Panama Park, Brentwood, Norwood, Golf Fair, Pearl World, Gateway Shopping Center. Moving up to Dunn Avenue, Harts Road, Turtle Creek, Biscayne, Baptist North, 295 Pecan Park Road, the airport, back around to First Coast High School, back down to Jackson High School. And that's going to give you the kind of like parameters of District 7.
District 7 is huge. Well,
Yes,
Jacksonville is huge. So, you know,
yes, yes.
Jacksonville is huge. When I first moved here, I was so upset. Like, I got to drive 30 minutes to go everywhere. Oh, I don't like this. Everywhere 30 minutes, that's an hour. I'm going to be driving. I don't want to do it. I had to fight with myself to get things done. Nahshon, I do appreciate you. I'm going to tell you this. This is running again today at 6 o'clock. and it's going to be on my radio station. Everybody, I'm so excited. Yesterday was the first day that my station went up. So this interview will not just be on my YouTube page and on my Instagram and Facebook. It's also going to be on the Good Vibes radio station so that I can keep the people abreast and aware of Nahshon. I believe out of sight, out of mind. When people don't see you, they don't think about you no more. It's kind of like prayer. You know, we pray when we need something. When we don't need it no more, we don't think about it no more. You know, so that was the reason for me doing my radio station, because when someone important or a business or anything comes on, I want to keep it in the people's mind, just like they do in large television station on large television stations and large radio stations. But those people have the money to actually pay all of that money to get there. I'm not, dropping a hole in you like that, but I'm gonna keep you in the hearts and the minds of the people, because what you said is important, and that's how they can remember you.
Yes,
Okay.
and I'm very thankful for this opportunity.
God bless you. God keep you. You have a magnificent day. I do really appreciate this. Later.